Alright, what we want to do now is show you how to use the standard 3-view button tool. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and as I click that, it'll show me all of my parts that are currently open, or I could browse and find a part that I don't have open. But I have this bushing open, so I'm going to just double click the bushing and it brings it in. Now the views that it brings in are dependent upon how you create the part in the model. The first thing I want to do is I notice that this is a little bit small, so I want to change the size of it. So if I just highlight the viewport right here, you see the little green box, that means it's active. Over on the left I have my scale. I want to use a custom scale. This shows up whatever the sheet is made at. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to 2:1, make it a little bit bigger. As I pick on the front view, notice that the other two views are tied to it, and that's very convenient so that students don't put the views in the wrong spot. Now I may not have enough room to dimension this, but we want to be able to see some things. We'll talk about dimensioning later. Also, while this view is highlighted, notice the green box around it still. On the left-hand side, I can throw in my hidden line just by clicking this button right here. And now my hidden lines will show up. If I want to add center lines to this, the center lines are on the annotations toolbar that's located on the command manager. They're hiding back here behind this double arrow. And I want this center line that's going through, and it puts it in. It's still active. Notice center line is active on the left. I just click this viewport and it puts that center line in as well. The next thing we want to do is bring in a projected view for our isometric view up here. I'm going to go back to the drawings tool palette, and I'm going to go to projected view, click on the front view, and there's my projected view. The projected view is not tied to the other views, so I can move it over here to the corner. And again, I like the isometric view to be shaded, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the shade button right here. Now another way to do the isometric view is I'm going to go ahead and delete this out, and I'm going to use a model view that's on the drawings toolbar. So up under model view, again bushing is active, so I'll double click the bushing. In the orientation I have several model views I could pick on. There's that isometric view again. But I want to use the current model view. Maybe I don't like the way the isometric looks. And let's go back to our bushing, and I can rotate this any way I want. Okay, so maybe I like that model view right there. So I'm going to go back to the bushing, and I'll click this in and notice that it is now pointing upward, and we'll shade that again. So there's some generic things with the standard 3 view, adding or turning on the hidden lines, adding some center lines, shading our isometric view using projected view and current model view.